Hello Culers, it's Pablo here and welcome back to Barca Universal and welcome back to a brand new news roundup video on the channel. You guys seem to enjoy these. A few days ago I did a live stream actually where I discussed some of the latest transfer news and gave some updates on that live whilst you guys could get involved. So make sure when I do next do a live that you guys are watching there and getting involved in the live chat to have your say. But in today's video guys, I thought let's round up all of the news over the last week. There is quite a lot. There's some interesting broad news almost, so I'm hoping you guys enjoy it, you gain some information from it. And without any further ado guys, let's get into today's video. But before we do, please guys, leave any of your thoughts in the comments down below as the video goes on, and also on new video suggestions. Let me know guys, I'm going to have a lot of new content in the next month. This month has been a little bit difficult really with no Barca games and kind of like a limbo period, but we've managed to get a few videos out. I thought I'd do a news roundup, but let's begin. And I want to start with a really interesting piece of news, a piece of news that's actually caught a lot of attention over the last few days, and that has been surrounding Jose Luis Gaya, the left-back for Valencia. I think for a long time, guys, now, we've been looking at Gaya and thinking that's the guy we could be bringing in to potentially replace Jordi Alba in a few years' time, and if not then, guys, he could provide competition for Alba in the short term. But of late, guys, we've heard some news that yes, Barcelona are interested. There's been no official bid or communication yet, but there was a potential Braithwaite and Aleñá for Gaya's swap deal being spoken about in the Spanish media, and I think that would actually be a swap deal that would be really, really beneficial for Barcelona. We know that Aleñá won't probably be here next season, same goes for Martin Braithwaite, and it is all I suppose, down to Valencia as to whether they would accept that. Look, that hasn't been sent, that's not an official bid, it was just rumours, but I think right now for Barcelona, interestingly, it's looking like they could be wanting to move on Jordi Alba, bring in Gaya, and then also perhaps move on Junior Firpo and bring in someone like Marcos Alonso. So left-back situation is getting interesting. What we're hearing is that Barcelona could perhaps try and do a swap deal with Valencia to bring Gaya to the club. But as of right now, there's no official movement on that. There's just rumours. But it does look like Barcelona looking to perhaps sell Alba and bring Gaya in, which I do find really interesting. So please, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below on that one. Moving over to the centre-back situation, guys, as I mentioned in my big squad planning video a few days ago, it's kind of similar. I think Barcelona right now are looking at someone like Laporte. I think that would be an amazing signing at centre-back. I get the feeling that right now Laporte wants to leave Manchester City. He's fallen behind in the pecking order to Ruben Diaz and John Stones, and I think if he could get a move to Barcelona, he would absolutely love that. Of course, he is now part of the Spanish national team. I think he's slowly feeling more Spanish, and I do get the feeling that Laporte would love to come to Barcelona. But the centre-back situation for us guys, it's pretty similar. You know, we're going to try and move on Titi. He doesn't want to leave, so we're going to try and see if we can get maybe a loan move or even have to release him, which would cost us a bit of money. But yeah, that situation with Titi, again, it's not looking good. As for Lenglet, the only real way we'll be able to bring in Laporte, guys, is by selling Clement Lenglet. So that is what makes this deal really hard. I just don't think that Laporte is really a viable option for Barcelona right now. We've got, what, 6, 7 centre-backs, if you include Jean-Claire Todibo right now. And bringing in Laporte, you know, we'd love to do that. But without selling so many players, it's just not going to happen. Onto the goalkeeper situation, guys. Of course, Ter Stegen will be the number 1, but then he'll be the number 2, and perhaps even the number 3. I think this season, guys, we were all thinking Neto was going to be moved on, and Iñaki Peña was going to be promoted to the number 2 spot. But that perhaps might not happen, so that's why this situation is getting a little more interesting. I think Neto wants to leave Barcelona, but Barcelona don't really want to let him go just because we've actually got a similar situation to last season. Ter Stegen is going to have surgery, and that's why for the first month or so of the season, we could actually need a number 2 goalkeeper to play some important La Liga and Champions League games for us, and I think that's why they want to keep Neto. But look, Neto's pushing for an exit. He wants first-team football there at a club which is, to be honest, what he deserves. And Iñaki Peña was really the rumoured one to go and be the number 2. But Iñaki Peña, certainly himself, if he doesn't feel trusted, will also want to leave. And if Barcelona, what it looks like, will want to bring in a new sub-goalkeeper to take up the role that Neto had, then what we could be seeing, guys, is both Neto and Iñaki Peña leaving. That situation is unclear right now, but the goalkeeper situation, guys, is interesting. It really is. Let me know in the comments down below what you would do. I think the general consensus was, look, let's sell Neto, let's use Iñaki Peña, but that just hasn't really worked out so far. So let's see what happens, guys. Will Peña be trusted? Will they manage to keep hold of Neto? Or will they end up going into the market to sign a new backup goalkeeper? Switching over now to some potential player sales, let's start with Martin Braithwaite, who has really had a good European Championship so far for Denmark. He's impressed. He got a goal, of course, against Wales in the last minute, a good finish. But I think generally throughout those games, I think a lot of clubs will be looking at him and thinking, that's a hard-working striker. He's got a decent turn of pace. He can grab a goal here and there. And I think Braithwaite, guys, will be one of the players that Barcelona will be able to sell this summer. I don't think he should be staying. I think, yes, I think he's got a lot of the fans on side, really, over his time at Barcelona. But I think if we're being serious, Braithwaite should be moved on. And I think there should actually be a decent amount of suitors for him. Let's see what happens, guys. We're hearing rumours that clubs from the Premier League, from France, maybe even from Spain with Valencia, guys, could be looking at Braithwaite. And let's just see how much Barcelona get for him. It's probably going to be between 5 and 15 million would be my prediction, as will be the case for a lot of our sales, I think, this season, if we are going to be selling players in the summer. But Braithwaite, it's looking good. Let's hope he gets a good move for himself. And that, of course, will allow Barcelona to free up a striker spot, actually, which is, of course, what we need with our over-congested squad. And speaking of forwards, guys, of course, we still have the old situation with Dembele and Griezmann. I think the feeling right now is that perhaps both of them won't be Barcelona players come September, but there's no actual news on outgoings right now. I think after Dembele's injury, that does mean that he is going to renew his contract. He is going to be staying at Barcelona for at least next season. He won't be getting a move this summer after he is going to be injured for, 3 to 4 months at best case scenario. So I think Dembele will be staying put. And that leaves Griezmann in a really interesting situation. I think Griezmann had a good season last year. In my opinion, I think we should be keeping Griezmann. But if he does raise some funds, I think if a good offer comes for Griezmann, the club remain the same. They will sell him. In terms of good offer, what does that mean? I'd say anywhere over 60 or 70 million, really, the club will be selling Antoine Griezmann. The thing is, guys, I just don't see that happening. So I think Griezmann and Dembele perhaps could be staying at the club again next season, even though I don't think that was the initial intention from Laporte coming into the transfer window. And touching on a few more player sales, guys, Junior Firpo, quite similar to Martin Braithwaite, actually, is certainly on the way out. He has a good amount of offers. Let's see if that one's a loan or a transfer yet. I think most likely it's going to be to AC Milan, but again, like Braithwaite, he has some suitors in the Premier League, so let's see what happens there. Leeds United, West Ham, I think I've been interested in him, so have Southampton. So look, let's see where Junior Firpo goes, but I think him, like Braithwaite, those two will probably be the easiest to get rid of this summer. Then you've got players like Umtiti, who I mentioned earlier there. He again is happy to stay on the huge salary that he's on, and he will not make it easy for us to find a way out for him. So let's just hope we can find a solution for Umtiti in the summer. Mateus Fernandes, we've heard absolutely nothing from Mateus again. Of course, there's just no real clubs interested in Mateus. He's had a bizarre season here at Barcelona, and we cannot go into next season with him taking up another squad number in the 25. We just can't let that happen. So I think Mateus, look, I don't know what's going to happen, but let's hope we can find him alone somewhere in La Liga or something like that. Pjanic, interesting one. I think he could be on for a return to Italy. Let's see what happens there. I'm not sure how much money Barcelona will be able to get for Pjanic, but it could perhaps then be a 1 or 2 year loan. And then also you've got Felipe Coutinho, who also, of course, will be looking for an exit this summer. We mentioned actually in the transfer update video in the live stream that exit is looking more complicated. He's on big wages. No club is really prepared to pay a big transfer fee for him. But let's see, guys. Maybe a loan to the Premier League is still on for Coutinho. If not, then he could be in for a surprise and shocking stay at Barcelona next season. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I don't think it would actually be the end of the world for Barcelona. I do think he is a good player. But we cannot forget, he's on massive wages and he still has clauses in his contract that would make us pay money to Liverpool. So watch out for that, guys. I think he definitely will be one of the players Barcelona try and sell this summer, really to save a lot of cash. But again, we'll want something towards 40 million for Coutinho, and that just isn't going to happen. So it might have to be a loan. But let's see what happens with that one. And finally, guys, to wrap up the news video, let's just touch again on Messi's contract situation. Like in the Coutinho news, we did touch on this in the transfer live update video, but Messi's contract is very close to completion. It just hasn't happened yet, guys. I am, like you, just waiting for the official date. So let's see what happens, guys. Nothing closed on that yet, but it does look like Messi is going to be staying at Barcelona. It's great news. And now let's just wait for the official announcement day. So that's where I will leave this one, guys. As always, leave any of your thoughts in the comments down below and any of the news I've gone through. If you want to know any other bits of news, any other updates, then as always, again, leave any of your thoughts in the comments down below. I'll be getting back to you guys and just, explaining the situation on any players here and there. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, any video suggestions, leave them in the comments down below. It's been quite hard to produce videos for June, but in July I do have some interesting one planned. So hopefully you guys are looking forward to that. I hope you did value the news updates today. I'll see you guys soon for some more videos, and goodbye.